Video Game History Time Warp Randomizer Audio Podcast Season 2 Episode 14 Dated Wednesday, May the 6th, 2026. Hi, it's Jeremy from Video Gamers Oasis with a quick prologue. Originally, I did these podcast episodes on a Sunday afternoon, but I've decided to reserve Sundays for relaxation and recharging. Plus, I find it much easier and honestly more enjoyable to produce an episode every Wednesday afternoon instead. The following is an addition to my prologue dated Friday, May the 8th, 2026. Hi, it's Jeremy again from Video Gamers Oasis. I seem to have released this podcast episode a couple of days late. I really wanted to discuss this podcast date on Wednesday, the specific game time that I wanted, this video game history. I wanted to research it on Wednesday because it was very timely, very enjoyable, but I had a very intense week of work the past few days and need to rest and recharge. Please pardon the delay in releasing this podcast episode. I will make sure to make sure your patience is rewarded. Thanks so much for your continued support of this podcast. Now then, let's get on with it, shall we? All right, finally get the podcast released. Welcome back, everyone, to Video Game History Time Warp Randomizer, the show where we spin the wheel of time and land on a random year in video game history. And I'm your host, Jeremy from Video Gamers Oasis. In today's episode, number 14, we're heading back to the year 1998. That was 28 years ago today. Today's featured title is Best of Sierra. Number 6, a late 90s Windows compilation release distributed across Austria, Germany, and Switzerland. A fascinating slice of gaming history where classic Sierra adventures were bundled together for a new generation of PC players. This is Video Game History Time Warp Randomizer. But before we jump in, it's quiz time! Trivia Challenge. Alright listeners, let's test your memory of episode number 13. That was our previous episode that we did on this podcast series. You've got 21 seconds per question. Here we go. Question number 1. Which company became publicly traded in 1968 after being founded in 1932. Time's up. The answer is Bally Manufacturing Corporation. Question number 2. What was the name of Bally's very first pinball machine? Time's up. The answer is Bally Hoo. Moving on to question number 3. Which company did Bally acquire in 1968 that would help shape arcade history? Time's up. The answer is Midway Manufacturing Co. Moving on to question number 4. Which 2003 game is considered one of the greatest arcade-style basketball games ever made? Time's up. The answer is NBA Street Volume 2. Moving on to question number 5. Which MMORPG from 2003 became one of the earliest global free-to-play successes? Time's up. The answer is Maple Story. Moving on to question number 6. Which 2003 browser-based game focused on a fantasy quest for a magical crown? Time's up. The answer is Quest for the Crown. Moving on to question number 7. Which regional Windows game from Poland was inspired by a World War II comedy film? Time's up. The answer is, and I'm going to refer to the lovevoice.com digital reader for that answer. Marek, the male, is going to read this in Polish.
Jak rozpętałem II wojnę światową, nieznane przygody Franka Dolasa, limitowana edycja kolekcjonerska.
Bonus lightning round. Let's kick it up a notch. Fast answers only. Volley started in what type of gaming? Answer: pinball machines. Question: which volley game features motorcycle combat? Answer: Spy Hunter. Question: what style of gameplay defines Maple Story? Answer: side-scrolling MMORPG. Question: NBA Street Volume 2 features how many players per team? Answer: 3 on 3. Question: what type of game is Quest for the Crown? Answer: browser-based fantasy strategy. Question: which volley title features glowing disc combat? Answer: Discs of Tron. How many answers did you get correct? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Thank you so much for participating in our video game history time warp randomizer trivia section of this podcast episode. It's always good to keep our listeners on their toes, not just listening passively. Moving on. And now it's time for Video Game History Open Mic. It's a very light comedy section of the video game podcast. So, Bally became publicly traded in 1968. Which means somewhere out there, someone said, "Forget stocks, I'm investing in pinball." Ballyhoo was their first machine. Honestly, still a better name than half the mobile games today. They acquired Midway in 1968. Basically the gaming version of "I like what you've got, I'll take the whole company." NBA Street Volume 2, where breaking ankles is encouraged and completely legal. Maple Story launched in 2003 and somehow still has players who never logged off. Quest for the Crown was browser-based, which means your biggest enemy wasn't the dragon, it was your internet connection. And that Polish World War II comedy game. Proof that even history can say, let's add a little chaos and humor. And there you have it. That was our section of our video game history open mic comedy stand-up show based on the video game history that we recently discussed. Leave your roasting, heckling comments in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Moving on. Now comes the time, every episode, where we calculate all the different years on this day in gaming. This day in gaming, of course, is dated Wednesday, May the 6th, 2026. Here are the years listed here from mobygames.com. Big shout out to that website. Here it is.
1976, 50 years ago. 1977, 49 years ago. 1987, 39 years ago. 1992, 34 years ago. 1994, 32 years ago. 1997, 29 years ago. 1998, 28 years ago. 1999, 27 years ago. Year 2000, 26 years ago. 2001, 25 years ago. 2002, 24 years ago. 2003, 23 years ago. 2004, 22 years ago. 2005, 21 years ago. 2008, 18 years ago. 2009, 17 years ago. 2010, 16 years ago. 2011, 15 years ago. 2012, 14 years ago. We have 2013, that was 13 years ago. And now we have 2014, 12 years ago. 2015, 11 years ago. 2016, 10 years ago. 2017, 9 years ago. 2018, 8 years ago. 2019, 7 years ago. 2020, 6 years ago. 2021, 5 years ago. 2022, 4 years ago. 2023, 3 years ago. 2024, 2 years ago. And finally, 2025, 1 year ago. So, we're gonna enter these numbers into the
wheel of video game history years in just a few short minutes, and we'll be right back with our wheels spinning. Don't go away. Now it's time to spin the wheel. Round and round and round she goes. When she stops, nobody knows. And the time warp stops on the year 1998. We're going to do some research into this series title, Best of Sierra number 6. Don't go away. Video game history for May the 6th, 1998. Featured game, Best of Sierra number 6 for Windows. Here's the story and concept. Best of Sierra number 6 isn't a single narrative-driven game. Instead, it's a curated compilation of classic titles from Sierra's legendary catalog. Quote-unquote, Best of Sierra is a compilation CD-ROM that features some of the most popular games from Sierra Online, a company known for its influential role in the development of adventure games, particularly during the 1980s and 1990s. This compilation typically includes a selection of classic titles that showcases Sierra's diverse library. By 1998, Sierra was already a titan of PC gaming. Some of the notable games that were often included in such compilations are King's Quest series, a hallmark of adventure gaming featuring fairy tale inspired quests and puzzles. Space Quest series, a comedic sci-fi adventure series centered around the protagonist Roger Wilco. Gabriel Knight, a popular series known for its engaging storylines and characters, combining adventure with a touch of horror. Leisure Suit Larry, a humorous adult-themed adventure game series starring the hapless Larry Laffer. Phantasmagoria, a full-motion video horror adventure game that was groundbreaking at the time of its release. These titles represent just a fraction of Sierra's contribution to gaming history. The quote-unquote Best of Sierra CD-ROM would serve as a nostalgic collection for fans of classic adventure games, presenting a varied experience of storytelling, puzzle solving, and interactive gameplay that defined an era of video gaming. If you're interested in exploring or revisiting these classics, this compilation could be a great way to do so. And I definitely would like to research more into these classic Sierra games, looking more in depth, deep dives into these specific classic point-and-click adventure games. Now let's discuss the gameplay of this particular title. Because this is a compilation, gameplay varies by title, but generally includes point-and-click adventure mechanics, dialogue-driven storytelling, puzzle solving and inventory management, exploration across richly designed environments. Players could experience multiple genres in one package: fantasy, sci-fi, comedy, and detective noir. Many games retain their original interfaces, including parser-based input or early mouse-driven systems. Here's some trivia to add to your note-taking. This edition was specifically released for German-speaking regions. Bundled games helped extend the lifespan of classic Sierra titles. Sierra was one of the pioneers of narrative-driven PC gaming. Many included games were known for their challenging puzzles. Compilation packs like this were popular before digital storefronts existed. Now that we've learned about a little bit of a background on Sierra and the games, let's continue with our research into Best of Sierra number 6, Windows version, brackets, Austria, Germany, and Switzerland. Here's the official description from mobygames.com. This is the May/June 1998 issue, brackets, volume 6 of the Best of Sierra series. This issue's title games are the following two: Hunter Hunted and Aces Over Europe. In addition to these two full version games, the following demos are also included: Lords of Magic, DSF Ski, and Quest for Glory 5 Dragonfire. The magazine from this issue offers the following special features: a walkthrough for selected levels from Hunter Hunted, and articles for the following newest Sierra games: Leisure Suit Larry's Casino, Pro Pilot 99, Police Quest, SWAT 2, Ultimate Soccer Manager 98, Grand Prix Legends, and Quest for Glory 5, Dragon Fire. First game on our list of featured games on this title is Hunter Hunted, aka Jake Burst. Here's the description. The year is 2015. A race of technologically superior aliens known as the Masters have invaded many planets, exterminated or enslaved their population. The Earth has become a grim place, the few surviving humans working for the aliens in labor camps. The Minotaur-like inhabitants on the planet Wrath, I hope I pronounced that correctly, are herded into concentration camps, forced to play the cruel game, quote-unquote, Hunter Hunted, to entertain aliens. Human Jake and Gareth Den, working independently, have to salvage car parts in order to construct a working vehicle and escape the Master's yoke. Hunter Hunted is a side-scrolling platform action game. The player takes control of either Jake or Gareth Den. Both start unarmed, but over the course of the game, they will acquire whips, guns, rocket launchers, and other weapons to protect themselves. The third dimension is integrated into the game, influencing its gameplay. Protagonists can step aside to avoid projectile attacks, as well as use doors to reach other areas. A 2-player mode is included, with 20 head-to-head and 15 cooperative missions. Second game on the list of featured titles on the Sierra Best of Sierra series May/June 1998 issue, volume 6, is Aces Over Europe. Here's a description. Sequel to Aces of the Pacific, Aces Over Europe takes place in the Western theater of operations during World War II. Fly fighters and fighter bombers for either England, Germany, or the United States, escorting heavy bombers, attacking group or attacking ground troops, or just taking control of the skies over Europe. Aces over Europe features improved graphics over its predecessor, including smoother models and individual squadron markings on planes. Terrain graphics have also been slightly enhanced to aid in navigation. AOE, or Aces over Europe as it's commonly known, features campaign modes for all three sides. Although not truly dynamic, the campaigns feature random missions based on your plane type and squadron, making each campaign different. Player-controlled planes include the Lockheed P-38 Lightning and Republic P-47 Thunderbolt and the North American P-51 Mustang (brackets American side). The Supermarine Spitfire, the Hawker Tempest, and the Hawker Typhoon (brackets British side), and the German, hope I pronounce this correctly, German Messerschmitt Bf 109. Focke-Wulf, pardon my language there, Focke-Wulf, Focke-Wulf FW 190 Burger, and Messerschmitt Me 262. I said a mouthful there, and why don't you go check the game out and see for yourself what it's like, and let me know in the comments if you've played this game. In perspective, 1998 in gaming. 1998 was an absolutely monumental year in gaming. We saw the rise of fully 3D worlds, expansion of PC gaming, and storytelling reaching new heights. It was the era of deep narrative experiences, expanding online connectivity, and genre-defining classics. While flashy new titles pushed boundaries, collections like Best of Sierra No. 6 reminded players where it all began, a bridge between gaming's past and future. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, smash the subscribe button, and share with fellow gaming history fans. Check out this and other older episodes on my Spotify playlist, as well as my YouTube playlist. Links are in the description. Every episode includes an interactive poll, so make your voice heard. Until next time, we spin again in a video game history. Time Warp Randomizer!